Canada Toronto's own Drake and his new album, HABIBTI. This is an album he dropped on midnight of May 15 alongside Iceman and Maid of Honor, with this one, like Maid of Honor, being a surprise drop. So coming into it, I didn't really know what to expect, but I could have never predicted a Drake album to be this bad. It starts off with the worst Drake intro ever and the worst song on this tracklist, Rust intro. It is so bad. It sounds like an AI parody song, like one of those like meme songs that were made using AI on stuff like Instagram or something similar. It is just so unbelievably bad, awful voice effect on Drake's voice. It is that disgusting to listen to. And then there is like a weird DJ Frisco 954 producer tag in like the middle of the song, very randomly thrown in with a weird boom sound effect after the producer tag is done. And that weird sound effect doesn't sound like a gun type of boom. It sounds like a meme board type of boom. It is so it sounds like a joke. It sounds like something you laugh at on Instagram if you are into this type of humor. I could have never predicted this being a genuinely made Drake song. Maybe if it was posthumously released in like 2086 when people don't care about if music is AI or not. It is that bad. I could have not predicted ever a song sounding this bad on a Drake album. Then after is the song WNBA, that is very boring and has like an awful cadence slash delivery that Drake uses throughout the song. It is so bad that my favorite part of it is right before the outro, when there is no vocals. It is only the beat playing. It is that bad. Maybe in every single Drake album there has been, if you put this song on it, it would have been easily the worst song on there. And this is not even the top 3 worst songs on this project. Slap the City is also an awful song, but it does get kind of redeemable by the beginning of the third verse that samples Show Me a Good Time from Thank Me Later. Even that part is not that good, but it is at least listenable, while the beginning of the song I genuinely think can be used as some sort of torture device, and maybe you will hear me and be like, he's exaggerating. I genuinely am not. If you play this to me while I'm hostage and you want me to, I don't know, spill some information or something similar, I am spilling everything, because this is that bad. It is such an awful song. High Fives is one of the only listenable songs on this album, and it actually makes it my favorite, even though it is very unmemorable and just not interesting in general. And it would be the least favorite song on 85% of the albums that I have reviewed throughout my short career. It is so barely passable, but with this album being on this level of quality where barely passable songs are its favorite, tells you a lot. Her North Her is also a boring, awful song, but this one with a Sexy Red feature, so it makes it even a little bit worse. And then I'm Spent is such an awful song. It features Low Shimmy. Low Shimmy is genuinely my least favorite non-MAGA grifter artist, musician of any kind. He is so awful to me whenever I hear him, and him appearing on this song doesn't make it that much better. I literally wrote Kill Low Shimmy in my album notes when I was writing this review. I cannot listen to this man's voice. If you paid me $1 billion, I genuinely do not want to listen to this man sing, rap, whatever. He's so bad to me, and maybe you see that as just hating. I am genuine about it. There are so many people whose voices I am not a fan of, but this man sounds like a mosquito to me. He's so bad, but at least he does fit on the soulful album because he is that awful to me. Classic is basically unfinished with how abruptly Drake's performance ends. Like half of the song is just like a sample being played, and that song kind of is one of the only redeemable ones, to not call them absolute trash, because it doesn't have so much Drake on it. Gen 5 and Whitebone are also like very unmemorable, forgettable boring, all that shtick. I am genuinely so tired from listening to this album. After hearing it so many times for this review, I cannot talk about these songs from how uninteresting they are. Fort Worth is also unmemorable, but it is like High Five, barely passable. It is an okay song. It has a fine enough Party Next Door feature and Drake was okay on it. Prioritizing is maybe the worst written song on this album, with the stupid Terry Fox line and just a lot of different lines I'll put on the screen. It is such an awfully written song from a person that I at least believe to be one of the best writers in the past decade or two, if you do consider his material to be written by him. So overall, this is Drake's worst album to date. It is so bad. It is one of the worst albums I have heard in my life. It should go down in history as one of the worst, very mainstream albums to have ever released. I am so disappointed out of my mind. I didn't really expect Drake to be delivering some masterpieces in 2026, so I can be so disappointed. This is genuinely, like I said, one of the worst albums I have heard in my life. I never expected Drake to drop something like this. I find this album to be trash.